Rollions on Rollions! Speaking on the quick time, but not the players, so do yourself a listen up. Let me do an About These Eyes talk to you. And yours too. Every single day, you do a look around, you do a take a peek in the directions you seek, and you are peering through an immensely fine-tuned piece of organic optics so precise that you can read tiny text on tiny screens, and you can tell the difference between this red and this one. Amazing. Unstoppable. Spherical. Some of you were born with eyes the wrong shape or size, and your bitty little lenses can't quite focus light far enough into or close enough behind your sweet, sweet light lookers. And that's okay, right? We can fix that with bent pieces of glass. We have sorcerers we call optometrists. And as an interesting byproduct of looking at the forevermore around you, you either have to see some of it or all of it. And you see some of it. You have about 200 degrees side to side and a little less up and down because your cheeks and your forehead get in the way, but that's okay. There's nothing up there to look at anyway. Except everything. Here's some facts. The Earth's 8,000 miles across. The Sun is 800,000 miles across. That's 100 Earths through the Sun. And there's 100 suns between the Earth and the Sun, with a couple planets in between. And if that's not enough sense for scale, then listen to this. Take this dime. We're going to call it that ball of fusion up in the sky, but now just 7 feet away. At this scale, you're at the Earth. And 30 feet away, here. Oh, that's Jupiter, all right? A sun to a dime 30 feet away, that's Jupiter. But how far even is 30 feet? Hey, how do you even know? I mean, take for a second, how in your finite little slice of time could you ever accurately measure anything more on point than wild guesses? Surely you couldn't. Surely and truly, for the ever next whenever, you're gonna have to go haphazardly, tape measureless when making your scale models of solar systems with coins. Throwing your sundimes with the same precision as a wet noodle dangling from a 32-story building? Or is it so bleak? I mean, have you ever struggled to even begin to estimate the heights of trees or the distances to cars in a parking lot? Maybe, if you have, I can give some assistance, because we live anorthographically, as in a perspective-filled world. Things appear with relativistic sizes. I mean, the moon is 2,100 miles across, but we can say that it has an apparent diameter of 31-ish arc minutes. Arc as in an arc along the circular surroundings that go around your eyes at any given moment. The full moon takes up 31 arc minutes. You're surrounded by 360 degrees, each of which is divided into 60 arc minutes, and then each of those into 60 arc seconds. It's how we measure the apparent diameter of things you look at. And commonly used is your hand at arm's length to determine a general estimation of how big things are. Like this diagram, you got your pinky at 1 and then the spread fingers at 20 degrees. But this is a dangerous game. I mean, extrapolations based on estimations is like bowling on a lane a mile long and trying to get a strike. People's fingers aren't all the same sizes, but even going tape measureless, there are ways you can, in short-term situations, use the parallax that you get from having two eyes in your head to be able to be even more accurate than your brain's inherent method of that's farther away and that's closer than that, by just referencing everyday objects. Like, let's take a US $1 bill, right? You're gonna take this bad boy, and you're gonna hold it at arm's length with both hands. This is important, right? And be wary, this only works if your arms aren't wildly different than average. I'm talking like 27 to 33 inches from your eyes. You can test it with a tape measure. So put your left thumb on the edge of the T at the top of the face side of the United States of America, and then you're going to put your right thumb somewhere on the other side of the bill. Same vertical height. Now look at whatever you want to try and get the distance of. Focus on it, and with your arms at arm's length, without changing your focus, move the two virtual thumbs. You should be seeing 4 that are in the center. Move those together, all right? So you want them to line up just perfectly until you get 3 thumbs. Now you're only sliding your right thumb. Keep the left one at the beginning of the T. Now, once they're perfectly aligned, you can shift your focus, roll it back, and then look real close to where the right side of your thumb landed. Whatever letter it's on, whatever half mark of a half letter that it's on, this is your chart to tell exactly the distance to what you were looking at. Now, here's the cool part, right? That was just the setup. You're going to multiply that number by however big it appears. You use the finger thing to get a general estimation, right? Then you're going to get some big, large number. You can estimate, just get close-ish. And now all you need to get the size of whatever you're looking at, like the real actual size of it, is the magic number. And what is the magic number? You might be thinking to yourself, well, I'll tell you, it's 180 divided by pi. It's about 57.3. You can just round up to 60 in most situations and you're going to be fine. But as long as you can multiply those first two and then divide by that magic number in your head, bam, bam, slam, jam, you got that size. The size of anything up to about a mile away. As long as you can get its distance and look at it, you're in the business. But as cool as that is, for farther away things, you're just going to take my word for it. Let's talk about closest approaches. You know, those things that are up above your forehead. Let's talk about apparent sizes of all the things far away from our little blue rock. Here, to set things up, this is what your thumb would look like at arm's length. Now, we're zoomed in a little bit, but you're going to have to trust me on this one. This is the moon. Here's the sun. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. All right? When these objects are closest to Earth, this is how big they will appear. I mean, you know how big the full moon is. Just look at how big Venus is. Look at how big Jupiter looks. Don't really worry about those last two because they're always too far away to see. They're tiny little specks, and honestly, the first two are either backlit by the sun or a half crescent and not very interesting. But these three are coming up. Right now, in February of 2016, we are nearing closest approach for these beautiful three. Jupiter's coming in on March 8th, Mars May 22nd, and Saturn on June 3rd. And with just an average pair of 10 times magnification binoculars, you can see Jupiter's stripes, Mars's ice caps, Saturn's rings. I mean, it's not even hard. Just wait this spring, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, this fall, until there is some day without clouds. Go out at midnight and take a look.
I mean, I'm not saying that if you don't, that you're gonna be missing out. Because some things are better left unsaid. Reverse mic drop!